Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 2. In the last episode, we started the new day, thinking about all the lovely tales and lovely instruments of torture and death that we found inside that sacred storehouse last night during the Watanagashi festival. And, well, when we found ourselves having a one-on-one conversation with Mion, eventually, right around the time that conversation was ending, we were about to go inside after having washed our face off after being scolded by a teacher. Mion started interrogating Keiichi with some very specific questions. Namely, if he had seen Tomitake, Tanako, or Shion last night at any point. Very intensely, I might add. So intensely that I kind of drained all the light from her eyes. It was a bit unnerving, honestly. Of course, Keiichi just played dumb, even though Mion made it very clear that she knows that Keiichi is kind of lying to her about having been with them, but she didn't outright say as much. She just kind of dropped the issue, but I am pretty damn certain that she knows that he was lying to her. So, we parted ways. Club activities were canceled, and then, well, I went home, and then I found myself having to make an impromptu trip to a library in Okinomiya to drop off some library books for Keiichi's mom, and, well, right as we were about to do that, we found ourselves having a quick phone conversation with Shion, who agreed to basically show us to the library while we talked about something that she wanted to talk about that we couldn't do over the phone at that time. So we went to the library, dropped off those books, and well before we could truly have a conversation about what it was that Shion wanted to talk to Keiichi about, she ended up going into a detail about how her family essentially has a lot of power and influence within the region that Hinamizawa and Okinomiya are in. And then right after that, Oshi-san appeared, and Shion made herself scarce, and then we found ourselves, well, eventually being grilled about whether or not we'd seen Shion along with Tanako and Tomitake last night during the Watanagashi festival. So asking the same exact questions in a very similar manner to how Mion asked Keiichi earlier in that same day. Of course, Keiichi still played dumb, but, well, right as Ushi-san was leaving and the library was closing on us, he kind of revealed that he was there at the festival, and he saw Keiichi come back with Shion, Tomitake, and Tanako. So he knew that we were lying to him, and he was testing us. And, well, he told us that we were going to end up speaking to him again later at some point. Because he's clearly not finished with us. And I have a suspicion that it has to do with the fact that somebody got murdered. And my bets are that it was maybe Tomitake and maybe also Tanako, because it was those two specifically that he asked about, along with Mion. It's not much to go on, I admit, but I can't think of anybody else currently who could have been murdered. Anyway, that covers everything up, I think. So let's move on and see what's going to be waiting for us on our way back home. I was on my way back home. The cries of the Higurashi accentuated the already lonely evening. More time had passed than I'd thought. The orange of the dusky day was being chased down, little by little, by an indigo color approaching from the east. Exhausted from the slow climb towards Hinamizawa. Ah, crap, I didn't feel that. Without even noticing, I'd gone off my bicycle and was pushing it uphill. Looks like someone parked their car here, off the side of the road. I don't understand any of this. No one had told me to my face that I'd done something wrong. Well, I didn't think they needed to, honestly. You should have just manned up and owned up to it. No. In fact, it might have been much easier on me that way. What happened yesterday really was just my curiosity. It really was no more than a quiet prank. No more than having the courage to cross at a red light as long as you did it with other people. The storehouse for ritual implements. Hollowed ground, only accessible to the family of a priest. For sure, I've seen terrifying things I never imagined would be there. Thinking on it now, though, it didn't matter what was stored away inside. It didn't make the wrong I committed any more right. But the four of us did. Mion seemed to know about it. For some reason, even the police were trying to learn what the four of us did. Did we do something so bad? Really? It doesn't matter how wrong it was. I did something wrong. It was nothing more than that, and yet I couldn't accept it. I didn't apologize to Mion or to Ushi-san. All I did was shield myself of ambiguities. I did something wrong yesterday. I set foot into a forbidden storehouse for a little bit of mischief. Now, I can understand if it was just Mion you were thinking about. But logically speaking, Keiichi, think for a second. Why would the police also want to know what you were up to with those three? What vested interest do they have? Unless there was some kind of crime that was committed, like, I don't know, one got killed or something, it's really none of their business what you were up to with them, unless there was actual crime reported. I set foot into a forbidden storehouse for a little bit of mischief. I'll forget everything I saw in there. I will never do something like that again either. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I apologize like that, would they forgive me? The suddenly cool evening air left no room for such sentiment, however, as it has mercilessly chilled my feet, urging me to head home as soon as possible. In the end, the evening air was correct. If I trudged along such an isolated road, regrets would pile on top of regrets, but nothing would change. Let's go home. I'll go home, to my room, put on my favorite music or something, and go to bed. That might sound plain and boring, but it's probably the strongest I've felt all day. Now that I made a decision, there's no point in dawdling in a place like this. I sat on my bike. I pushed hard on the pedals. I rapidly advanced forward. I steadily gained speed. The wind was cutting and mercilessly cold, but it actually felt good, as if it were softly punishing me. I didn't eat much dinner before excusing myself early, returning to my bedroom. My mom called me from downstairs.
Keiichi! 電話よ!
You have a call. I wonder who that could be.
園崎さんから!
It's from Sonozaki-san. Sonozaki? Was it Mion? No, it was Shion. I just remembered. She had something she wanted to tell me today. Ushi-san had interrupted us, so she didn't get the chance. Shion had said that she'd call tonight.
もしもし、
Hello?
シオンか。
Is that you, Shion?
どうも。
Hello.
今日は災難でしたね。
Ran into a bit of trouble today, didn't we? She said it so plainly that I got a bit annoyed. She is the one who left me there and ran.
そんなこと言わないでください。
Don't say that.
私、ケイちゃんに一緒に逃げようってサインを送ったじゃないですか。
I gave you the signal to run away with me, didn't I? What
なの
signal?
にケイちゃん、ぼさっと残っちゃって。
You just sat there looking dazed, Kei-chan.
ボサってことはないだろ
I wasn't
う。
dazed.
シオンがあっという間に置いてきぼりにしたんで、あの後俺は大石のおっさんにたっぷり付き合わされたんだぜ。
All of a sudden you left me there. And after that I had to put up with that Ushi guy for ages.
そんなの、私に愚痴られても困ります。
Don't complain to me about it. Can't believe she passed it off like that. She looks just like Mion, and yet inside she's this different? You really need to stop judging by appearances, man. I got a little irritated myself when I realized I was, somewhere in my mind, hoping for the same reaction I would get from Mion, even though she's a different person.
ああ、悪かったよ。
Sorry.
次からはシオンを置いてくぐらいのつもりで、真っ先に逃げ出すようにする。
Next time I'll run away first thing and leave you there.
できればレディーファーストでお願いします。
Hey, it's ladies first. Shion laughed refreshingly. When I heard her voice, I realized she wasn't really that angry or anything. It was just as she said. The cause of my temper was because it was my own fault for not leaving immediately. I'll stop blaming it on others. Blaming it on others would be.
それより、俺に何か話があるんだろ
Anyway, you had something to tell me, right?
はい。
Oh, yeah.
もしもう知ってるなら、改めて言うような話じゃないんです。
I mean, if you already know, then it's not something that bears repeating.
その、知ってますか？
Do you already know? Shion lowered her voice suddenly, as if she were glancing around. I had no idea what I could already know. Let me guess. What you've been wanting to tell me was that something happened to Tomitake and Tanako, right? And the reason why you're saying that, why you're saying if I already know, then it bears no repeating, is because you're assuming that Oushi-san told me what you wanted to tell me, right? I had no idea what I could already know.
悪いけど、何のことかさっぱりわからないぞ。
Sorry, but I have no clue what you're talking
ヒント
about.
くらい出せ。
At least give me a hint.
ってことは、知らないみたいですね。
So that means you don't know. Duh! She seemed to take my stupid-sounding question as evidence. However, her voice didn't sound disappointed or exasperated in the slightest.
実は、昨日の渡流しのお祭りの晩なんですけど。
Actually, it's about last night, during the Watanagashi festival. Third time in just a single day. Doesn't just fill you with a sense of nostalgia, Keiichi? My entire body jolted as I was assailed by a terrible feeling. Is Shion going to ask the same thing?
もしもし、
Hello?
ケイちゃん、聞いてます？
Kei-chan, are you listening?
ああ、
Yeah,
聞いてる。
I am.
昨日の晩どうしたんだよ。
What about last night?
私たち4人、入ったじゃないですか。
The four of us went in there, right? She didn't beat around the bush. Whether or not I wanted to admit it, that was the actual honest truth, and I couldn't act like it hadn't happened.
それでその後、みんなで歩いて、石段のあたりで私たち、みんな別れましたよね。
Then, after that, we walked away together. And then went our separate ways near the stone stairs, right? After you asked me about a sound you heard, yes, pretty much.
高野さんたちは沢に行って、ケイちゃんはその場に残って。
Takano-san and Tomitake-san went to the stream, and you stayed there. Keiichi.
私は親類の人たちのところに行っちゃって。
I went over to see some relatives. Yeah.
それがどうした？
Why do you ask?
お互い、質問の返し合いになっちゃうと拉致が開かないんで、私からまず質問します。
We won't make any progress if we keep asking each other questions. So let me ask this question first.
いいですか？
Okay?
ゆうべ、富武さんと高野さんに会いませんでしたか？
You
だろ
mean, did I see Tomitake-san and Takano-san last night?
え？
Huh?
はい。
Oh, yes.
あの後、あの二人には会いましたか？
Did you see the two of them after that? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised. This is the third time I've been asked this question today. Why? Why? What the hell is going on?
どうしてだよ。
Why?
だからどうしてそれを俺に聞くんだよ。
Why are you asking me that?
ほらほら、ケイちゃん。
No, Kei-chan.
質問は私からのはずです。
I'm asking the
答えて
question.
ください。
Please answer me.
シオンは会ったのか？
Did you, Shion?
シオンが先に答えたら俺も答える。
If you answer first, then I'll answer. My shabby response betrayed how scared and small I felt now. After everything that had happened today. Shion didn't say anything for a few moments. Just as I was beginning to think I'd really put my foot in my mouth with that response, she finally answered me.
もちろん、会ってません。
Of course, I didn't see them.
一緒にいた親類が証明できます。
My relatives were with me, and they can vouch for that.
俺だって会ってない。
Yeah, but since you're also... I don't know. I feel like they could also lie on your behalf as well. If you know, they want to protect you. But obviously I have no proof that anything like that happened. I didn't see them either.
証明って言うなら、ミオンとかレナとかみんながしてくれる。
People can vouch for me too. Like Mion, Reina, and everyone else. Now that we knew our answers matched, she let out a sigh that sounded more relieved than anything else.
正直に答えてくれて、ありがとうございます。
Thank you for answering me honestly.
じゃあ、言いますね。
Okay then. I'll tell you.
ゆうべ、高野さんと富武さんが死んだんだそうです。
Apparently, last night, Takano-san and Tomitake-san died. I fucking knew it. It's just like with Chapter 1. Victims and everything, but you say that they both died. Takano didn't just disappear. She's dead, as in her corpse was found. That's definitely different from Chapter 1.
ごめん、シオン。
Sorry, Shion.
今、なんて言った？
What was that you just said?
ゆうべ、高野さんと富武さんが死んだんだそうです。
Apparently, last night, Takano-san and Tomitake-san died.
高野さんは焼死体で、
Takano-san was found burned to death. She was in that oil drum outside the prefecture?
富武さんは自殺みたいな感じで、
Tomitake-san was... Well, it looked like a suicide. A suicide again?
今朝知ったんです。
Let me guess. Did he kill himself by clawing out his own throat? After it looked like as though he was assaulted by people? I found out this morning.
お父さんが親類の人からの電話で話してるのを聞いて、
I heard my dad talking to a relative on the phone about it. Late last night, a police car on its way back from festival security duty had discovered Tomitake-san lying in the middle of the road heading towards Okinomiya. He had clawed out his throat and died. It's exactly the same as Chapter 1. Well, the cause of death, anyway. Give me more details.
なんだよ。喉をかきむしっての自殺って。
What? He clawed out his own throat?
あの明るそうな富武さんが自殺？
That bright, cheerful Tomitake-san committed suicide?
何かの間違いだろ。
That can't possibly be right.
警察がちゃんと検視したんです。
The police did an autopsy.
自分の爪で
He did it with his own fingernails.
ガリガリと喉をかきむしって血管を破いて血をドバドバ出して
He scratched at his throat so hard that he ruptured his blood vessels and bled out.
自分の血で溺れ死んだんだって
He died in a pool of his own blood. That's what they said.
そんなバカな自殺聞いたことないぞ。
I never heard of such an insane suicide.
自分の喉をかき破るなんて
You can't just
おかしすぎる。
scratch open your own throat like that. Well, yes, you can, technically. I realized I was yelling too loudly, so I lowered the force I was putting into my voice. I didn't want my parents to hear me, so I switched to the cordless phone and ran up to my own room.
大声出してごめん。
Sorry for yelling.
で、
So,
高野さんも自殺なのか？
was Takano-san. Was that suicide too?
高野さんは自殺かどうかちょっと
In her case, it's a little unclear. Takano-san's body was found in the mountains of Gifu Prefecture. Employees at the rest stop nearby reported to the police late that night that they could see flames in the mountains. The firefighters dispatched there were the first ones to find her. An autopsy concluded that it was the burned corpse of a half-naked female. They initially considered the body beyond recognition, but directly after, there was a request for a dental comparison from the XX prefectural police station Okinomiya, and the results concluded that it was Mio Takano. The cause of death wasn't confirmed, but it was highly likely to have been homicide, since she was in her undergarments, and her clothes were nowhere in the area.
灯油管が転がってたそうなんで焼身自殺の線もあるそうです
The oil drum had fallen over, so it's also possible she burned herself to death. I wonder if the details surrounding Tomitake's death are exactly the same. Not only the cause of death, as we know for a fact now, but the events leading up to it. It looked like he was attacked by people, and he basically he basically found himself going to an absolute frenzy, and then just start clawing his own throat out after that. Then maybe Tanako ended up disappearing, or in this case, dying the same way too in Chapter 1. Maybe someone took her somewhere out of the prefecture and burned her to death, or killed her before that. And if that's the case, then maybe the same culprits are responsible for what's going on this time around.
自殺なわけあるものか。
It could possibly have been suicide.
同じ死ぬならもっと楽な方法がいくらでもあるだろう。
If you're going to die, there are plenty of other easier ways, aren't there?
こんなの絶対に自殺なものか。
This can't be suicide.
私だってそう思ってます
That's what I
富
think.
武さんのだって自殺だなんて考えられない
It's unthinkable that Tomitake-san would kill himself too. As after the two of us rattled on each other, there was a silence as we paused to catch our breaths, and as we calmed our nerves. Right then, I understood what Shion's story actually meant.
お社様のたたりってことになると思います
I think it'll end up being Urashiro-sama's curse.
私たちたたられるのに十分な資格がありますから
We all did more than enough to deserve it, after all.
資格って冗談じゃないぞ。
Deserve? You gotta be kidding! Yeah, I'm skeptical if it was the curse, because... Well, then again, the circumstances behind this are different. Because technically 4 people transgressed into a sacred structure, so... All I know for sure is that the one common factor that chapters 1 2 have regarding this is that for this year's murders, Tomitake-san is the same victim between chapters 1 and 2. Tanako just flat out disappeared without a trace in chapter 1, but they found her body in chapter 2 in an oil drum outside the prefecture. Deserve? You gotta be kidding! It's not like Shion wanted to see it with me. I just went along with her. I tried to say that, but I fell silent. Nothing would come of me blaming others. It didn't matter how much everyone else encouraged me. I could have put my foot down. I lost my own half-assed sense of adventure and agreed to go in with them. Yes, it was my fault, and no one else's.
Shion.
Shion.
お前は昨夜、細工殿の中に忍び込んだら、こうなるかもしれないと予想はついてたのか?
Shion. Last night, when we stuck into the ritual storehouse, did you predict things would turn out this way?
まさか。
Of course not.
そりゃ、多少はやばいとは思いましたけど、こんなことになるなんて夢にも思いませんでした。
I thought it was pretty risky, but I never even dreamed something like this could happen. Shion's words were probably her true feelings. She knew she could get in trouble if we were caught, but that was the thrill of this little adventure. It was the same for me.
それよりもケイちゃん、
Besides that, Kei-chan,
ちょっとよく考えてください。
think about it for a moment.
今年のお社様のたたりはおかしくないですか?
Didn't Orishiro-sama's curse turn out a little strange this year? It was already plain strange, seeing as how Tomitake-san and Tanako-san died like that. Given all that, what could possibly be stranger? The fact that we were able to find 2 bodies, that's what's strange.
死体が2つ見つかったってことです。
I mean that they found 2 corpses.
言いましたよね。
Remember what I said?
例年は1人が死んで1人が消えるんです。
Every other year, one person would die and one person would disappear. Every other year. Why do I... Well, that was a mistake. I thought it was every year. I kept thinking all the time it was every year. No. My bad.
2人の死亡が確認されたのは今年が初めてです。
Every other year, one person would die and one person would disappear. This year is the first time 2 people have been found dead.
確かにそうかもしれないけど、そんなのは大した問題じゃないだろう。
That may be true, but that's not a huge deal, is it?
いいえ、ケイちゃん。
It is, Kei-chan.
もっと真剣に考えてください。
Think about it
いい
harder.
ですか?
Listen,
2人の死がお社様のたたりということになってるなら、
if 2 people died because of Orishiro-sama's
お社
curse,
様の怒りを鎮めるための生贄もまた2人分必要なはずなんです。
then in order to quell Orishiro-sama's anger, 2 people would need to be sacrificed.
そういう理屈になるのか?
Is that how it works?
じゃあなんだよ。
So what?
富武さんと高野さんが死んだ陰で、今年は2人が行方不明になってるってのか?
Tomitake-san and Tanako-san died. So now 2 people are going to go missing this year? And I think I know just who those 2 people are going to be. First person's name starts with a K, and the second person's name starts with an S. I don't understand why, but When I said that, I felt my spine freeze.
まだ誰も行方不明になってないと思います。
I don't think anyone's been confirmed missing yet.
多分、二人が失踪するのはこれからじゃないかと思うんです。
I think that those two people have yet to disappear. Shion, like me, was obviously getting the same feeling crawling down her back.
これから二人が失踪する。
Two people have yet to disappear? Shion didn't answer. I couldn't say any more than that either. A chill crept in through my clothes, tried to wrap into a fist around my heart. Cold hands feeling about on my chest. Neither of us could say anything. Tomitake-san opened the lock, and he died. Tanako-san exposed the ritual storehouse, and she died. But two more people were to be sacrificed. Then, they would be none other than the ones who entered with them. None other than us.
まさか。
No.
冗談だろ。
This has gotta be a joke. I want so much for her to pass this off as a joke, even now. That, though, was such an incredibly difficult and selfish request. If Tomitake-san and Takano-san had died in a common way like a car accident, I could tell myself it was a coincidence. Instead, he clawed out his own throat, and she burned to death, drowned in oil in the mountains. The two deaths were so out of the ordinary that I couldn't possibly dismiss it as mere coincidence. It was as if, in exchange for sneaking into the ritual storehouse, there must be someone punishing us. Some sort of cruel will working behind the scenes. Even so, I still didn't want to accept that terrifying truth. If I did, then I would have to acknowledge that a horrible crisis was growing near for Shion and I. That's why I argued against it. I argued, knowing I was running away.
大地、そんなの新聞に出てないぞ。
In the first place, it's not even in the newspaper, is it?
そんなに奇怪な事件なら絶対に新聞やテレビで報道するはずだろう。
Such a monstrous incident would be all over the newspapers and television.
雑誌記者とかだって面白がって大勢来るに決まってる。
Magazine writers would flood the village too. Think it'd make for an interesting story.
マスコミに報道されないのは当然なんです。
Of course, it's not getting reported by the media.
過去にそうだったから。
That's how it was in the past too. When the incidents occurred for the third year in a row, there were some third-rate magazines that sniffed out the story and ran issues full of gossip columns about Hinamizawa. Fearing that the region would develop a negative stigma, they negotiated with the prefecture and the police. Since last year, it became a big conspiracy, where no information about the incidents was allowed to be leaked to the media.
村長とか、あと園崎家出身の金バッジが警察に思いっきり圧力をかけたんだって聞いてます。
I hear the elders and the top brass from the Sonozaki family put all the pressure they could on the police.
じゃあつまり二人の死は秘密裏に処理されてしまったということか。
Then you mean their deaths are going to be dealt with in total secrecy?
そういうことです。
That's how it is.
もちろん警察は捜査をしてますよ。
Of course, the police are investigating it.
でも秘匿捜査ということなので、捜査活動にはかなりの制限が加えられているそうです。
That's being performed in secret too, though. So I hear the investigation itself is very restricted in what it can and can't do. Lovely.
事実上の捜査妨害と言えるでしょうね。
You could essentially say they're interfering with the police investigation. The story was unbelievable. People died, and yet they don't publicize it and deal with everything in secret.
もっと噛み砕いて言うと、
If we break it down further,
綿流しの夜に誰が死んでも公にはならないということです。
it means that no matter who dies on the night of Watanagashi, it won't go public.
そんなバカな話があってたまるか。
That's the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever heard.
ケイちゃん、
Kei-chan,
私以前にお社様のたたりは村人が起こしてるかもしれないって言いましたよね。
before, I said how the villagers could be the ones carrying out Orishiro-sama's
つまり
curse.
そういうことなんです。
That's what I mean.
このひなみ沢では毎年綿流しの夜にお社様のたたりということにして誰かを殺してもいい土壌がいつの間にか作り上げられているんです。
At some point, a tradition was created here in Hinamizawa, where every year you're allowed to kill someone on the night of the Watanagashi under the guise of it being Orishiro-sama's curse. And what is your evidence of this? When someone dies on the night of the Watanagashi, it turns into the curse of Orishiro-sama. The curse turns into the serial murder incidents. In order to avoid exacerbating the negative stigma surrounding Hinamizawa, those incidents are dealt with in secret.
バカな。
That's insane!
毎年死者と行方不明者が出るんだろ。
Dead and missing people turn up every year!
いくらマイナスイメージって言ったって警察にも限度があるだろう。
However bad the stigma gets, the police have to draw the line somewhere, don't they?
毎年の事件が不可解って言うなら警察も本腰を入れられるんでしょうけど。
You could say the incidents happening every year is mysterious, but the police can get the job done when they need to.
何しろ毎年の事件は個別に解決してますので。
After all, the incidents always get resolved individually.
連続事件という形にならないんですよ。
It doesn't end up being a string of incidents, you know?
たまたま毎年綿流しの晩に不幸なことが起こる。
It just so happens that something unfortunate happens on the night of Watanagashi every year.
それだけのことに。
Is it every year or every other year? Make up your goddamn minds. That's all it turns into. Most of the criminals responsible for the original dismemberment were arrested. The last one managed to get and stay away. But the events were totally exposed and elucidated, so it was, in essence, resolved. The dam supporting couple who died in an accident on the second year. That was an accidental death, plain and simple. They made a lot of investigations into the possibility of it having been a homicide, but it didn't turn up anything. It ended up as an accident. It was resolved. On the third year, the priest fell ill and passed away. There were doctors present at the hospital at his deathbed, and they all had trustworthy medical certificates. They even did an autopsy. It concluded that it wasn't a homicide. That was resolved too. On the fourth year, the sister-in-law of the dam-supporting couple was murdered. The criminal was an abnormal man with a history of regular psychostimulant usage. He confessed that he thought Orishiro-sama's curse was so interesting he wanted to try it out. The criminal died of an accident while imprisoned, so this incident was essentially resolved as well. That's right. None of the incidents had any relation to another, and each was independently resolved. Except for
なの
the
にな
fact.
ぜか毎年綿流しの晩に不幸な偶然が起こる。
But they're all connected to the dam incidents, though. The people, I mean. They're all connected to the project. So then why does an unfortunate coincidence occur every year on the night of Watanagashi?
連続事件にしたくても 連続にならないんです。
You can try and say it's a string of related incidents, but they're not related.
それでも毎年必ず誰かが死んで誰かが消えていく。
Yet every year, someone always dies, and someone always disappears. The story Tanako-san told me on the day before during the setup. Now that the curse really had occurred this year, I couldn't just laugh it off.
じゃあ、俺たちも狙われるっていうのか？
Then, does that mean it'll come for us too?
毎年、一人死ぬと一人が消えるように、富武さんや高野さんの道連れに消えさせられるっていうのかよ。
Just like how one person dies and one person disappears every year. Are you saying we'll be taken along with Tomitake-san and Tanako-san in a race too? My lips had, at some point, become completely dry, and just saying that was difficult. Shion didn't respond. Her silence, however, was the clearest form of confirmation that she could give me.
俺たち、そりゃ確かに入っちゃいけないところだったかもしれないが。
Sure, we went somewhere we shouldn't have.
見ただけだぜ。
But we were just looking, right?
何かを盗んだり、持ち出したり、見たことを誰かに喋ったわけじゃないんだぜ。
We didn't steal anything or take anything out. We didn't tell anyone that we looked, right? I was already regretting having committed such a wrong. Even so, was it really so bad that Tomitake-san and Takano-san deserved such cruel deaths?
第一、俺はあんなの見ても全然面白くなかったし。
Besides, I didn't care about anything I saw in there at all.
高野さんが見て、一人で大喜びしてただけだろ。
Takano-san was the only one getting so happy over it, wasn't he? That's kind of besides the point.
悪いのは高野さんだけだよ。
Takano-san was the only one at fault.
俺は全然関係ないぜ。
I don't have anything to do with this.
興味もないし、関係ないし、あの中にあったものだって知ったことじゃない。
I'm not interested. I'm not involved. I don't give a shit about what was in there. I knew saying so wouldn't resolve anything. I could feel myself, my cold self in the innermost depths of my heart, disgusted at my pointless howling. However, my emotions had broken through the dam, and I couldn't stop them anymore.
俺はもともと興味なんか全然なかったんだ。
I didn't have any interest in this from the start, damn it!
リカちゃんの演舞を見ていたかっただけなんだ。
All I wanted to do was watch Rika-chan's performance!
それをシオンが勝手に連れ出したんじゃないか。
You were the one who pulled me away from that! Weren't you, Shion?
あの二人が泥棒しようが何しようが知ったことじゃない。
I don't give a rat's ass whether those two were trying to steal something, or trying me up secretly, or whatever!
そうだよ。そ
That's
もそも
right.
シオンが中に入ろうって言い出したんだ。
You're the one who made me go there in the first place, Shion!
ケイちゃんは見ておく必要があるとかなんとか思わせぶりなことを言って中に引き込んだんだ。
You were all Kei-chan. We need to see what's inside. And you convinced me, and then pulled me in!
どうしてくれるんだよ。
Why the hell did you do that?
俺は全然関係ないんだぞ。
I didn't have anything to do with this!
どうすんだよ。
What will you do?
どうすんだよ。
What are you going to do, damn it?
どうやって責任を取ってくれるんだよ。
How are you going to take responsibility for this?
お
Huh?
い、聞いてる。
Hey, are you listening? What happened? Without any warning, the phone call cut off of a sound, receiver being slammed down. She hung up on us. God, what was with my voice? It was breaking constantly. Shion was just as terrified as I was. I just said some really self-centered things. My riled up emotions disappeared, as if they'd never existed, and in their possibility surged waves of deep regret at having run my mouth so irresponsibly. I could try to call out Shion's name from beyond the disconnected phone, but it was too late. What have I done? You let your fear and paranoia run away with you. Again. Shion was only trying to tell me as much as she could about this thing about to descend upon us. As for me, I could only whine like a child about it. I went to call her back, but then remembered she lived in Okinomiya. I didn't know her phone number. Since I had declared to Mion that I hadn't seen Shion last night, I couldn't just call Mion and ask her for Shion's phone number. I was too scared. I couldn't even call her back. I was stricken with helpless regret. I returned the receiver to its stand and simply prayed that Shion would call me back again. Please, Shion, calm down and call me again. Someone tells me it's not her. It's probably Wushi.
もしもし、前原です。
Hello, this is Maibara. I swept up the receiver as though it wouldn't go through if I didn't grab it at that exact moment.
前原さんのお宅でしょうか。
Is this in Maibara residence?
夜分遅くに失礼いたします。
Excuse me for the late call.
君吉と申します。
I'm Kimio Yoshi.
ご主人様でいらっしゃいますか？
Is this the head of the household? It was the voice of a girl who clearly wasn't Shion. Well, I was wrong. All my hopes rushed out at me.
いえ、違いますけど。
No, it isn't.
親父に用なら呼んできます。
If you need Dad, I'll go call him. I went to put the receiver back down, but the caller stopped me hurriedly.
あ、いえいえ、お忙しければ結構なんです。
Oh, no. If he's busy, then it's fine.
実は恐縮なんですが、うちのおじいちゃんがお邪魔してませんでしょうか。
This may be a strange question, but is my old man paying you a visit? Your old man?
いえ、誰も来てませんけど。
No, nobody's here at the moment.
そうですか。
I see.
夜分遅くに申し訳ありませんでした。
Again, I apologize for calling you so late at night.
失礼いたします。
Goodbye. Wait, hold on a minute. Who's your old man? I don't know who that was, but what if Shion tried to call me while I was on the phone? I thought, bubbling with egotistic anger. Hey, wait. Give it a break, Keiichi Mibara. These are the selfish emotions that made Shion mad at me, aren't they? Yeah, they are. The more I thought about it, though, the more I thought that Shion had given up hope in the short time we had our conversation and didn't want to call anymore. Call yourself Keiichi Mibara. If Shion does call again, then first apologize in a calm voice. If you do that, then Shion should understand. However, no matter how long I waited, the phone didn't ring again that night. What an ominous way to end things. For this chapter, I mean. Scrapbook 6, 7, and last night phone call. I think I got enough time to check out these tips before I call it a night. So, Scrapbook 6. The significance of Watanagashi. Watanagashi, a festival of hunting for sacrifices and feasting on them. While the festival itself is remarkable, it has come to be considered a form of entertainment as well. Perhaps it was because of the disparity between both being an egregious act and a form of entertainment that the perpetrators began to believe themselves transcendent. However, I found some very interesting literature that appears to raise some questions about that explanation. With most oral traditions, it's not easily swallowed, but it does mention a few things that spark my interest. According to this literature, even the residents of Onikafuchi village felt fear toward this ritual. Women and children would grow pale and tremble, and those of weak constitution would vomit. But it's said that the feast, the dissection, was an obligatory viewing. Well, interesting. So there's probably... So if we take this account as true, then there probably wasn't a whole lot of people that were very willing in this ritual then. I mean, willing to want to experience it, I mean. This is an extremely curious tale. I mean, I guess it makes sense, because, I mean, if we go with the supernatural aspect of this, then basically the demons and half human demon hybrids, every decade or so, they'd get an uncontrollable hunger for human flesh. So that would imply that they would try to resist it for as long as possible, but due to their nature, they can't. This is an extremely curious tale. Until now, I thought that the residents of Onikafuchi village were fascinated by the Watanagashi festival. They looked down on those vulgar, barbaric humans, cut them open like fish, and by eating them, they reaffirmed their own holiness. At least that's what I thought. However, if what the villagers gained from this ritual is not fascination, but fear, then that would suggest that the ritual meant something entirely different. That it would. There's the possibility that the executions were meant as warnings, encouraging the villagers to strictly follow religious precepts created by those with power for their own convenience. Makes sense. If we're looking at this from no demons were involved perspective. Onikafuchi village has been effectively ruled over by three old families, called the Three Families. Without investigating the three families, I probably won't get any closer to the truth of Onikafuchi village. So, are we going to examine the families next? Three families. Yup. The Three Families refers to the three old families who effectively came to rule Onikafuchi village. To break it down, there was a Kimoyoshi family. Wait a minute. Log. Wasn't that the name of Kimoyoshi? Well, how about that? Someone from the third family called Keiichi to ask if her old man was visiting. Fascinating. To break it down, there was the Komiyoshi family, the Furuta family, and the Sonozaki family. Each of them still exists today. So now we know all three families. Though they don't have as much control as they did in the remote past, they still hold considerable influence today. The three families are considered by legend to be those in whom the blood of the swamp demons runs the thickest. The Kimiyoshi family. The Kimiyoshi family appears to have held great power as the head of the three families, but it doesn't have that kind of leadership today. Yeah, it's looking to me like the Sonozaki families are the ones running the show these days. The current mayor of the village, Yoshiichiro Kimoyoshi, is from this family. The fact that the members of the Kimoyoshi family are elected as mayor every generation is thought to be a remnant of the old system. Of course, as no rival candidates appear, it doesn't change the fact that the Kimoyoshi family holds the mayoral office, even through popular elections in the post-war era. In the Furuta family. The center of the village's face since ancient times, the Furuta clan has guarded the sole shrine dedicated to Urashiro-sama. They were worshipped as the only people to represent the voice of Urashiro-sama for a long time. But the family branched off after the war and lost most of its power. It now consists only of the main house. The main house as well presently consists of only one daughter, Rika Furuta. So you are basically the last surviving member of the Furuta family then, Rika. So the lineage may end in this generation. There's apparently an old tradition of honoring females of the Furuta family, so the only daughter, Rika, is the subject of much respect among the elderly of the village. And finally, the Sonozaki family. It is said that this family has a certain police-like role of protecting the religious precepts of the Onikafuchi village. So they were like inquisitors. Of the three families, their relatively weak position can be seen from me putting them here last. Of course, today, the Sonozaki family is flourishing, and the state of affairs among the three families is completely reversed. Even now, one could say that they are in control of Hinamizawa. The three families conferring with each other is similar to the old way. The current head of the Sonozaki family, Oryu? I'm going to assume it's Oryu. Oryu essentially decides all of the going-ons in the village by herself. So, yeah. It basically is like a syndicate, like Ushi-san said. And the head of the Sonozaki family, Oryu, basically calls the shots in the village. So, late night phone call. What's this?
夜分遅くに失礼いたします。君吉と申しますが、ご主人でいらっしゃいますか?
Excuse me for the late call. I'm Kimiyoshi. Is this the head of the household?
はい。
Yes.
いえ、その説は本当にありがとうございます。
No, not at all. Thank you very much for that.
それでですね。
Yes. Well, you see.
こんな時間に大変恐縮なのですが。
I do apologize for calling at this hour.
うちのおじいちゃんがお邪魔してないかと思いまして。
But I was wondering if our old man was visiting you at the moment.
ですよね。はい。
You got that right. Yes.
こんな時間に申し訳ありませんでした。
Once again.
それでは失礼いたします。
I'm very sorry for calling so late.
ごめんください。
Goodbye.
どうだい？ダメ？
So? No good?
参ったな。どんなに熱中しても電話くらいはしてくれる人なんだけれどな。
I'm not sure what to do. He may be passionate about it, but he always at least gives us a call.
囲碁の人の家は全部電話したんでしょ?
You called everyone he plays Go with, didn't you?
はい、君吉です。
Hello? This is Kimiyoshi.
園崎です。どうです？
This is Sonozaki. How did it go? Mion?
村長さんは見つかりましたか？
Have you found the mayor?
ああ、ミオンちゃんか。片っ端から電話をかけてみたけど、ダメだよ。
I called everyone I could think of, but I came up with nothing. What happened to the mayor?
見つからないんだ。
We can't find him.
参ったな。
What do I do?
どこで油を売ってるのかな。
Where could he be idling about?
こっちでも心当たりにいろいろと問い合わせましたけど、全然。
I put a word in with a bunch of people who might have had an idea, but nobody did.
ばっちゃんにも相談したんですが、 青年団を招集して探し回った方がいいだろうということです。
I asked Nana about it, and she said that we should get the men of the village together to search for him.
こんな時間にかい。それに、別に行方不明になったと決まったわけでもないし。
At this hour? I mean, it's not like he's definitely gone missing.
綿流しの直後ですから、少し慎重に扱った方がいいとのことです。
Watanagashi just happened. She thinks we should be a little more cautious.
それでも見つからないなら、明朝警察に通報しましょう。
If we still can't find him, then we'll notify the police tomorrow morning.
見つかる見つからないは別にして、痛くない腹を探られない方がいいでしょうから。
Whether or not we find him, though, we should refrain from making any false accusations.
おりょうさんがそう言ったのかい。
Uryu-san said that?
はい。直接声を聞かないと信用できないなら、電話先に出させますよ。
Yes. If you can't trust her without hearing her voice, then I could put her on for you.
いえ、わかりました。
No, that's fine. I understand.
青年団を集めて探しましょう。
We'll get the men together and search. You seem a bit fearful about the prospect of getting confirmation from Uryu. That, to me, seems to imply that you might hold some sort of fear towards her.
それで見つからなければ、翌朝に警察に通報します。
If we still can't find him, then we'll notify the police in the morning.
青年団の連絡もよろしくお願いしますね。私もバッチャの代行ということで、そちらに参ります。
She'll leave it to you to organize the men. I'll be there as well as Nan's representative.
ありがとう。すぐにみんなを集めます。
Thank you. I'll get everyone together immediately.
ええ。では。
Thanks. I'll talk to you later. I wonder if next chapter we're going to find ourselves suddenly involved in a search for the missing mare. Probably unlikely, but interesting to think about nonetheless. Okay, I think this is a good... I think we finished the tips, and I think this is a pretty good spot to end things for tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and cut things off here, and we can see what's going to happen with finding the mare, and, well, what's going to happen with Keiichi and Shion regarding the whole Urashiro-sama curse thing in the next episode. I doubt we're going to see any results happen right away with the curse, if that does happen at all. If there even is a curse, but, well, we'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 2. If you did and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all next time. Take care.